Hello everyone and welcome to this video on what if China started a war. The topic we're discussing today is a sensitive one, but it's important to consider the potential consequences of such an event. In this video, we'll explore the possible scenarios that could unfold if China were to initiate a conflict, and what it could mean for the rest of the world. Background: China is the most populous country in the world, with a population of over 1.4 billion people, and it's the second largest economy after the United States. Over the past few decades, China has become increasingly assertive on the global stage, challenging the US's dominance in various areas, such as trade, technology, and military power. China's military spending has increased significantly over the past few years, and it has developed a robust and modernized military that can project power far beyond its borders. China's territorial ambitions, particularly in the South China Sea, have also raised concerns among its neighbors and the United States. Possible triggers. So, what could trigger a war with China? There are several potential scenarios to consider. One possibility is a conflict over Taiwan. Taiwan is a self-governed democratic island that China considers part of its territory. If Taiwan were to declare independence, China could respond with military force. The United States has pledged to defend Taiwan in such an event, which could lead to a direct military confrontation between the US and China. Another possible trigger could be a dispute over territory. China has territorial disputes with several countries in the region, including Japan, Vietnam, and the Philippines. These disputes have led to occasional clashes, and a more significant conflict could erupt if diplomatic efforts fail to resolve them. A third possibility is a clash over resources. China's economic growth has led to a massive demand for resources, particularly energy and minerals. China has invested heavily in Africa and other parts of the world to secure access to these resources, but competition with other countries could lead to conflict. Consequences of a war. If China were to initiate a war, the consequences could be severe. Let's consider some of the potential outcomes. First, there would be significant human and economic costs. A war with China could result in a large number of casualties, both military and civilian. The economic impact could also be severe, as trade between China and other countries could be disrupted. China is the world's largest exporter and importer of goods, so any disruption to global trade would have a significant impact on the world economy. Second, there could be geopolitical implications. China's rise as a global superpower has already challenged the United States' dominance in various areas, and a war would only exacerbate this trend. It could also lead to a shift in alliances, as countries may have to choose sides in the conflict. Third, there would be a significant impact on global security. A war with China could lead to the proliferation of nuclear weapons, as other countries may feel the need to acquire them for their own defense. It could also lead to a rise in terrorism and other forms of extremism, as individuals and groups may seek to exploit the chaos of the conflict. Finally, there could be long-term consequences for China itself. A war could lead to significant damage to China's economy and infrastructure, and it could also undermine the legitimacy of the Chinese Communist Party. It could lead to social unrest and political instability, which could have implications for the entire region. Preventing a war. So, how can we prevent a war with China? There are several steps that can be taken. First, diplomatic efforts should be increased. All parties involved in territorial disputes should be encouraged to engage in dialogue and reach a peaceful resolution. The United States and China should also engage in dialogue to manage their differences and avoid escalation. Second, international organizations such as the United Nations should play a more active role in resolving conflicts. The UN can act as a mediator and provide a platform for dialogue, which can help reduce tensions and prevent conflicts from escalating. Third, countries should work towards reducing their reliance on China for essential goods and services. This can reduce the risk of economic coercion and ensure that countries are better prepared to withstand any potential disruptions to trade. Fourth, countries should work towards building a more robust and cooperative security architecture in the region. This can include measures such as increased military-to-military contacts, joint exercises, and cooperation on maritime security. Finally, countries should work towards building a shared vision for the future of the region. This can include promoting economic integration, cultural exchange, and people-to-people contacts. Building stronger ties between countries can help reduce mistrust and create a more stable and peaceful environment. Conclusion. In conclusion, a war with China would have severe consequences for the entire world. It's essential to prevent such an event from occurring and work towards a more peaceful and stable future. Diplomatic efforts, international organizations, economic diversification, and building a more robust security architecture are all essential steps towards achieving this goal. We must work together to create a world where conflict is the exception, not the norm. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.